Are you going to Sacramento, but you're not sure what to see there? Well, stay tuned for our top 5.
Well, welcome back, travelers. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite cities, Sacramento, California, where we're going to look at 5 great things that you can do there. And stick with us till the end, because we're also going to tell you where you can find some of the best coffee in the city.
I love good coffee.
You can also check in the show notes and find links to everywhere we're going today. Let's get started.
Our first stop is Old Sacramento. Wouldn't it be cool if you could go back in time and visit a California city as it appeared in the gold rush days? Well, you can do just that in historic Old Sacramento. Now called Old Sacramento Waterfront State Park, this 28-acre landmark contains the heart of the original town site, including the riverfront and train stations. This was also the end of the Pony Express Trail. Everywhere you turn, the 19th century buildings, over 50 to be exact, lend an old-time vibe with their cool boardwalks and beautiful facades. At the south end of the park, you can also find one of the city's most famous icons, the Tower Bridge, an amazing drawbridge painted bullion gold. Or maybe you would like to spend the night or even dine in an authentic steam paddle wheeler. The Delta King, which is moored up on the riverfront, has been converted into a hotel. And even if you don't stay or even eat there, you should check it out. Now, there are guided tours, horse-drawn carriage rides, and lots of entertainment to be had here as well. It's a great place to spend a full day. Moving on to number 2, it's a combination of the California Railway Museum and the Sacramento History Museum. These two are located at the north end of Old Sacramento, so you don't have to go very far. If you love trains and the history of the railroad, especially in the West, then you don't want to miss the California Railway Museum. Over 17 full rail engines and cars are on display there, including 2 of the largest steam locomotives ever built in the USA. There are 3 levels to this museum, including an enormous model railway area sponsored by Lionel. You could definitely spend hours taking all of that in. Still in the same complex, the Sacramento History Museum has 2 very cool things going on. One is the original replica of the city newspaper, the Sacramento Bee, which many have come to know from their social media videos where the curators operate the vintage printing presses while weaving stories of the past. Secondly, you can take the Sacramento Underground Tour. The original town was built at a level much closer to the waterline of the American River, which often meant a portion of the town was always underwater. To fix this, they built up, but much of the structure underneath is still there and actually holding up most of Old Sacramento. It's always ready for new explorers, and it's a fun trip to the past. It's a good idea, though, to check and book reservations for this because it's a busy tour and it fills up fast. Moving on to number 3. Sacramento is the state capital of California. I mean, no trip here would be complete without at least checking it out. The exterior was refurbished in 2019. I know that for a fact because we were there when they were doing it. On the outside, it's a real beauty. It's a stark white with palmetto trees all the way around the perimeter and beautiful gardens to walk through. On the inside, you can do guided tours or self-guided tours, but be aware the Capitol building interior is not open on the weekends. So you'll have to catch this on a weekday if you want to see the inside. For number 4, we're going to be taking you away from downtown, just a little ways away to Fort Sutter. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's probably because of Sutter's Mill in Coloma. That's where the big gold nugget was found that kicked off the California Gold Rush in 1848. The fort was founded by a Swedish immigrant and was the first European-style trade center in Central California, serving as a museum today. This location also now commemorates the history of the Nisenan people, who were mainly exploited to build and support the fort activities. It's a wonderful place to walk around and look at some of the interpretive displays. Parking in the area can be a little bit tricky at times as there's no parking lot or garage, but only metered street parking. And even though you may have to take a little extra time to find a spot, it is well worth the trouble. Well, finally wrapping up our list is number 5. Between the California state capital and Old Sacramento lies an area built as a downtown shopping district. This is Downtown Commons, better known as DoCo. If Old Sacramento is the place to enjoy the past, DoCo is its contemporary sibling. Shopping, dining, entertainment. You can even catch a Sacramento Kings game or concert at Golden One Center. And of course, live music. It's a wonderful place to get away if you're just looking for something to do. Probably the best thing of 4 of these items are they are all adjacent to each other. You literally can walk from the state capitol down through Doco into Old Sacramento and the Museum District without having to worry too much about traffic. Getting to see all 5 of these might depend on how long you have to visit. Now, as far as the best coffee in the city, I'm going to suggest Temple Coffee down on K Street. They have several locations in town, but this one is right down by the state capitol. I'll also put a link to their website so that you can check them out. They're pretty amazing, and they win my vote for best coffee in the city.
Well, there you have it, traveler. 5 great places to visit when you're in the city of Sacramento, California. I hope you found it informative. And don't forget, down in the show notes, we've got links to all 5 spots that we visited. And if you liked the video, we'd love to have you as a part of our family. Please consider liking and subscribing. And until we see you next time, you never know what you'll find until you go beyond the exit. Thanks a lot, and God bless.